BYDFi is a crypto exchange on desktop and mobile where you can spot trade, futures trade, use leverage tokens, and copy the trades of top traders. If you sign up with the link in the description, you get a free $100 when you deposit $100. There's hundreds of crypto available on their spot exchange, as well as a free test account so you can practice futures trading without getting wrecked. BYDFi. Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm going to make a quick video on Atom. I'll try and make it nice and quick. There is some simmering momentum taking place down here, I have to say. It's not amazing, and I don't want to jinx it, but I bought some of this recently at 8.50, thinking that it's actually an okay place to start my dollar cost averaging into this for the long term. Because you can stake this across most platforms. I do mine on SwissBorg. You can stake it across most platforms for at least 10% APR. So it's pretty sweet stuff for staking, at least anyway. So buying it on the way down from this level is part of my hodl strategy for this coin. Now, I appreciate that Bitcoin and all markets probably want to consolidate a little bit anyway. So I'm not suggesting that this is by any means the bottom. But there is a potential move brewing on this one, just based on the momentum only. So we'll start with its tether pair. We're above all major moving averages on the shorter term timeframes, with the 200 simple and exponential just above us around here between 8 and upper 8s towards $9, right? So if we pull back into this any further, that's fine. Our move up back towards the 850 might see a ricochet and smash through that, only to be rejected from any one of these. It's just going to be nothing more than a death cross retest. Death crosses took place around here, so really on the first pass, 880, maybe 9 at best on the first pass. Then building a base back above 850 could be where we start to get interested for the next big move, the move that could take us up towards the top of this, well, it's a sideways channel of accumulation from what I can see, and the top of that is around 1020. So recognise, we're above the 0 point, no bearish divergence so far. The uptrend is subtle, but it does exist. Moving averages like the 20 moving average on the 4 hourly, the Bollinger Band Center pointing up, so forming a ascending triangle of sorts. If you were to extend this, we've got maybe a day or two before it either breaks one way or another. Now, if we just take it back to the daily, we've got this giant descending triangle that which we crept out of, and we always say that you creep out of it towards the end of an apex, whichever direction you go, whether it's up or down, it's usually going to get the inverse effect. So we crept out of it, rejected on the 1020, and then we sailed down. And actually, we've been getting some support on the triangle's previous resistance, which is now flipped to a support. It's not great because it's descending, which means support's on the way down. Each day they get lower, but it still happens. So, these sort of things, these breakouts that come down to at least the support or maybe even the trend line itself, can be an area of interest to pick it up from. So there's your daily and your 4 hourly, and like I say, it's not the best thing you've ever seen, but there is evidence enough to say that there is some momentum brewing on this one. And if we were to think about an extension on the move right now, if we were to break out from the 850, we move up towards 1020, maybe even the 200 simple moving average, 1080 towards 1090, and we'll see where we go from there. Because you break this level, then you do have to think about incrementally reclaiming these areas like 1240, and then obviously back up to our previous high over here. 1534, and bit by bit making our way up. Throughout the whole process, I'll be staking it, so let's not worry. I'm not looking to make quick trades on something like this. I would actually quite like it to go down further anyway, to pick more of it up at low levels. But from what I can see now, there is enough evidence to say that it's brewing a move out of this range, at least in the short term. So the Bitcoin pair is even more bullish, but more or less the same read. Above the 0 point, no bearish divergence, uptrend subtle but steady. Support on the 10 exponential with a view to get a death cross retest around 3,000 sats. Again, measured move on that one is not going to show anything massive. We're talking 3 to 5% maybe. But then you take that to a daily, and we can see, all right, fair enough. We've got an extension on this move all the way up to here, about 4,000 sats, which is a much bigger move, about a 30 to 40% move, about 37% move, in between the 200 simple and exponential moving average. Now, there is a fresh histogram tick. Nothing special, no big deal. There has been a little bit of bullish divergence, again, only small, no big deal. But if we think about this trend line over here, the 4,000 is a flat number, which is a Captain Noob Master special. It also corresponds to quite a lot of areas around this portion before we broke down. So 4,000 is a big area of resistance, and one that I think would probably be the top on this run if we got it at all anyway. Again, a lot of the world hangs in the balance right now of which direction all markets want to go in. But I still think that, as Bitcoin's sitting around this level, which is a major support, if there are setups across the board for altcoins, maybe we can take them seriously, but we always have to expect, the worst. Because the big daddy Bitcoin threatens to break down below support, but it's sideways for the most part. Has allowed for some of these charts to maybe toy with the idea of a setup, and this is one right now. And if it fails, for me, like I say, I'm not particularly interested in selling a 40% rip. I'm looking to sell this at its all-time high and higher later on down the line, and stake throughout the duration of that time. So it is a win-win whichever direction it goes for me. And like I say, my preference is that it actually goes down so I can dollar cost average further into this at lower prices. But if it doesn't, I'm just pointing out that there is a chart here which does show potential setup for a breakout, and it is a better setup than anything that Bitcoin's got going on at the moment, which is basically zero. There's absolutely, it's like a 50-50, which again makes this chart setup a little riskier than it would appear on face value, because Bitcoin can just it can break down, and this will break down with it just through association with the entire crypto market. But I just wanted to put this to your attention. If you're an Atom holder, let me know. I am a big Atom holder now, and I'm looking to increase the amount that I get of Atom throughout the rest of this year, maybe into next. Anytime that we go down lower than 850 by increments of 10% or more, I'll be buying more. So I'm part of the Atom, I don't know, what do you call the Atom crew? Do they have a name? Cosmos Posse or whatever? I don't know. Please let me know in the comments, because I need some comments to help the algorithm. Either way, I'm going to leave it with you there. Atom short term, not too bad. Definitely have seen a lot worse, especially today. You're flicking through all these charts. Most things don't look particularly good, and this one looks okay. Okay being the operative word. Anyway, if you want to join the live streams, we've got 2 of them each week. One tonight. Got to be a Patreon member, by the way. Links in the description below. Other than that, I hope you have a nice day and take it easy.